mo muna yung screen.
Okay. Tayo muna.
Tayo muna.
Okay, welcome to Talakayan Christmas Special with my co-host, Chito Hunya, and myself, Nathan Sipata.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa ating lahat. Again, as usual, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang hapon, magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga Pilipino nasaan man kayong panig sa mundong ito. Dahil ang Talakayan po, 3K Online, ay napapanood at napaparinggan sa YouTube, Facebook Lives. At ito rin ay later on, makikita nyo rin itong tidbits of it in Instagram and YouTube, Twitter. But anyway, it's now December 20. We're just 5 days before we hit D-Day or Christmas Day. So, pinag-usapan nga namin ito ni John. Ano ba ang celebration ng Christmas? Paano ba ito nagsimula? How did it all start? So, ikaw John, what is your appreciation of Christmas? How do you look at Christmas?
Christmas to me is a time of giving and sharing and remembering our loved ones and sharing to them. Being thankful for the year that's passed, to our friends and families, kasama na yung mga fur babies like itong naririnig nyo sa background. Mga all nakikibati din ng Christmas. So, yun.
Well, again, but alam mo, over the years, Christmas was celebrated in, I think, year 336. Just a flashback of how it started. Yung Christmas started in Rome in about year 336 is that, but it did not become a major Christian festival until the 9th century. At saka yung Christmas traditions such as decorating trees started in Germany and later spread to other parts of the world, notably England and the United States. But ano ba talaga ito? How did it really start? In the 5th century, the Western Church ordered the feast to be celebrated forever on the day of the Mithraic rites of the birth of the sun and at the close of the Saturnalia. Well, ano ang Saturnalia? Well, it's really yeah. The English Christmas is the rest of the well, there are really a lot of things that have changed over decades, over centuries on how Christmas is celebrated. But basically, the essence of Christmas is sharing. Caring, sharing. Remember that ang Christmas natin, somehow, minsan hindi na nawawala na yung reason for it.
Correct.
Remember that, Jan, di ba?
Yes.
It's actually marked by the coming of our redemption in mortal. Si Jesus Christ was born a mortal being, and to redeem us from the world of frailty. So, let me then start with my message. Can you please have my message, Jan?
Yeah.
Actually, ang alam mo ang problema natin dito sa Pasko, some people are so engrossed with celebrating Christmas because of the gifts, because of I would understand yung mga employees, the bonus and everything. But remember, we are now this is my message, by the way. As we celebrate perhaps the most challenging Christmas of our time, let us reflect on the real meaning of Advent. That a mortal Christ came to redeem us from a world of frailty, that while technology brought us closer to the heavens, it kept families apart and made sinners of men. That while governance is supposed to put order to society, it has been abused by some officials as they live jaded in their lives in bigotry while robbing the poor of hope, even as they twiddle the diamond beads of their holy rosary to ask for forgiveness for their sins against humanity. That the moral and spiritual values of man are slowly being eroded by materially. That our time in this cosmic world uh, is just a lease, and there will be a time for its redemption, and that to prepare ourselves for that atonement, now is the time. Is the season to embrace Christ in our hearts. Well, the reason why I had this message is I saw that, especially now in these most trying times, most challenging times ngayon because of the pandemic, this is perhaps the time na nagkakabuo-buo ang pamilya. Remember, John, pag pang-long vacation, ano ang tendency ng family? Okay. Okay.
Di, mag-outing.
Outing, they go on vacation. Now, with technology here, the whole family is complete in the dining table, but what are they doing? Are they talking
Naka-gadget
to
na,
each other?
naka-gadget lahat.
Naka-gadget. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, while technology has brought us closer to the sun, it kept families apart. Why? Masyado na tayo engrossed sa technology, access 24/7. It helps. It's good that meron na tayo dyan yung mga internet access, online, or whatever. But depending, we have to be responsible in its use. Ikaw
Mm.
dyan, you are an IT expert. I
Yeah.
know that it really improved your life. So
It,
how would you use it responsibly? Ikaw dyan,
well,
give us an outlook from an IT expert on that regard.
these gadgets are tools. So they are just tools in itself. They're neither good nor bad. So it's how the user uses it. That's how it becomes bad. It's just like a hammer. You can use
Uh-huh.
it as a tool for construction, creating things, and you can
Mm.
also use it as a weapon to destroy or hurt people. Ganon din itong mga gadgets na ginagamit natin. And we just have to be aware of what we're doing at the moment. Kasi most of the time, we miss the moment. Like yun sabi mo kanina is family gathering. So you miss the occasion na mag-interact ka physically sa mga family members mo. Kasi ang ka-interact mo is yung kaklase mo,
Mhm.
kaibigan mo, kabarkada mo, kaopisina mo na medyo malayo. So
Mm.
ang isip mo is ang focus mo is divided instead of enjoying the moment with family. Meron kang side distraction na sasagutin ko to message nito. Ah,
Mm.
yung mga nagtatawanan kayo pero iba yung conversation sa sa table. So, it's how you use it. It is good kasi you are able to get uh, the information instantly. Yun ang doon. Um, it's on the other hand naman, it's a problem kasi sometimes you're bombarded with too much information and not all the information are factual. So there's so
Mhm.
many false information there that you can get and you get bombarded. Siguro ikaw ma-experience mo dahil mga fake letters na natatanggap or akala mo
Yeah,
is
yeah,
totoo.
yeah.
Yung mga
Yes.
ganun, mga spam na
Yes.
natatanggap. So, yun. So you have to, because of all this information flowing in, you have to learn how to filter what is what you need lang. So you have to let the others pass para hindi ka ma-overwhelm. Kasi yung
Yeah.
tendency ma-overwhelm ka parang, oh, this is new information, basa, basa, basa. Pero hindi naman lahat yun, kailangan mo eh. Hindi lahat yun totoo.
Alam mo, yun nga dyan, technology has affected our personal touch. Yan ang tinatawag na you're so close and yet you're so far. Kasi ganito. But would you agree if I tell you that technology also was is helped in is being used in crime? Alam mo naman, I mean, online thing, the online scams, marami yon. So there are the good side, the good and bad sides of it, as you were explaining earlier. So it's really a matter of responsible usage. ng ating
Correct,
people.
correct. It has to
But
be responsible.
now, on that regard, I would also like to say that let us use the good side of technology para maparamdam natin sa mga Pilipino natin, kapwa natin Pilipino sa buong mundo na ang mga Pilipino kababayan nyo ay nakikishare sa kanilang pagbati sa inyo sa itong kaarawan ng Pasko. Can you
Yes.
please play the messages of our friends who would like to share their
Okay.
jubilant tidings to our Filipinos abroad?
Okay, then. Here they are.
Hi, greetings from Dubai. Maligayang Pasko at mabiyayang bagong taon sa
She,
lahat.
oh,
Especially to our
She is my classmate
kababayan
in high
and
school.
frontliners all over the world. Please know that we are so proud of everyone and keep safe all, and let's lift our spirits up and celebrate Christmas.
maingay dyan.
Naglo-loading ang ano.
Even amidst this pandemic, we know we can do it because we are Filipinos. This nation.
Okay.
Well, ito naman si Chairman Jesus Limaranza of FPI.
Sakit. Pasko na ngayon at Pasko araw na. Dinarasal ko na lahat ng
Yan, maingay. Diyan, maingay.
Hindi marinig siya na.
Hindi marinig, maingay dyan.
sa importante ay mayroon tayong sampalataya sa puno. Kapal, may sampalataya sa kakayahan natin sa sarili at relax natin ang lahat ng nasa dalangin na magpapahirap lang sa ating kalooban at kalooban ng mga tao.
Smooth ang ano.
Sabi nga, dahil ang tao napakahirap gawin mo. Ako, hindi ko kaya rin. Pero, ang ibig sabihin lang nun is, na mahalin mo. Turuan mo kung anong dapat. Ngayon, kung hindi mo maturuan, ay, kaya nga tayo may mga batas, upang sa ganun, yun ang batas ng hirap. At ang batas ay dapat nasa katarungan ang kahinatnan. So, pero ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, tayo nasa Pilipinas, tayo mga citizen ng ating bansa, ano ba ang mahalaga sa atin? Sabi nga, learn. But we are love yourself. Pakinggan lang mo itong aking hiniram na bibig. Ay Hebrews. Nasa English lang ito, kung hindi ko kaya ng Tagalog. Pagkatapos, ang karugtong ng aking greeting sa inyo lahat at aking paalala sa Panginoon kasabihan na ang paalala ay gano'n sa tao na nakalilito.
Mm-hmm. Yun.
Sa Talakayan ka.
Oh. Alam mo mga kababayan, Talaga, everybody's concerned about
I
everything.
Ito na.
This
Alright.
year has been very challenging for all of us, as the onset of COVID-19 disrupted our lives from the beginning of this year. We have learned to live our lives away from our friends and families, not because for our protection, but for theirs. This year has also been very challenging for us in terms of business, as the continuing growth we expected from the previous year to this year disappeared in one big pandemic. Companies were forced to downsize, retrench, or furlough their workers, or at its worst condition, was forced to close. Indeed, 2020 has tested our will to survive. As we look to 2021 with full of hope and inspiration, let's give thanks to the people and organizations who have helped us get through this pandemic. The frontliners who have sacrificed their lives to keep others alive. The companies who continue to operate even when they are running losses just to keep their staff through the tough times. And our families who are there to support and love us unconditionally. This Christmas, let us share lessons with those who have lost their jobs, families, and be thankful for whatever fortune the Lord has given us. Let 2020 be remembered not for its devastation, but for each person's resilience, patience, and unselfishness. And may we learn from this experience that health and lives matters the most. As we are now seeing the light at the end of this very dark time, may the peace of the world be with us all. On behalf of Time Still Philippines, this engineer dancing you, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to all of you.
Wala mga kababayan ko dyan na nasa ibayong dagat. Magandang umaga sa inyo at kung sa gabi naman magandang gabi at kung sa tanghali, magandang tanghali. Ako ay bumabati sa inyo ng magandang araw. Gusto baga kayo diyan sa ibang bansa na sa inyo baga naniniwala baga kayo na mayroong kumusta naman ang katatayuan dyan, lalong-lalo na yung mga ating mga OFW. At pinaabot ko rin na may pagbati dyan sa aking Padring Francisco Nawan Jr. dyan sa bansang Sydney, Australia, sa kanyang mga pamilya at kanyang mga hipag at bayaw. Lalo na dyan kay Mio at
Hindi smooth ang YouTube mo yun.
siguro rin itong aking mga kababayan dyan sa ng Canada, paring Mr. Gates,
Natin mga dogs.
Maria Encarnacion, na classmate ng high school. Bumabalik. Ganun din, may mga bansang Italia. Hindi ko na lahat akong kamag-anak ng mga OFWs na nariyan. At sa bansang ay pinaabot ng aking pagbati ng isang magandang maga sa advance Merry Christmas sa Kuya Florente, Villanueva, and Adriel. Sa inyong lahat yan, iingat kayo. So, patnubayan kayo ng ating mahal na Panginoon na lagi kayong nasa ligtas na kabayan. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Diba? Si Nestor ng Kalakilong, Laurel, Batangas.
Sensya na. At ang piniplay natin ito lahat ng messages from our YouTube account. Smooth si YouTube mag-play ngayon.
That's beyond our control dyan. It's a YouTube problem. So, we cannot do much. So, meron pa iba?
Meron pa yun. At itong aking alagang ng mga 4 babies nakikisabay.
Ay kaysa ninyo, marami man tayong pinagdaan ng pagsubok at hinaharap sa Pasko ito. Ang mga Pilipino ay nagkakaisang bumabat ng masaya at ligtas na Pasko sa lahat ng mga Pilipino saan mga dako ng mundong ito. Muli, ligayang Pasko at ligtas ng bagong taon sa ating lahat. Saludo nga pala ako sa lahat at ng mga OFW na mga nagsusumikap para lang sa kanilang pamilya dito sa bansa.
Alright, sir. Thank you.
Alright. Merry Christmas po. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Ito yung last.
Ligayang Pasko sa lahat ng mga
Pakilala.
kasi hindi na po pa namin kayo lalo na sa pagmamahal. Kahit na naman natin sa lihin nyo,
Yan. So,
Okay.
yan po mga kaibigan.
So, basically, yan ang sinasabi ko. At least, ang mga Pilipino, ito sila, tayo. Marami ang nagkakaisa para mabumati sa ating mga kapatid na mga Pilipino na nasa malayo sa kanilang pamilya, lalo't lalo na sa kaarawan ng Pasko. Dahil tayo nakikaugalian na talaga natin na pag Pasko, ang pamilya nagtitipon-tipon, yung mga OFW, sinasama na yun sa programa nila, that sa December, they will be home with their families. But unfortunately, because of the situation ngayon, because of the pandemic, many of them will have to spend Christmas alone in a foreign land. At ngayon, this would somehow be able to appease them or give them a comfort na ang bayan, ang mga kababayan niya ay nakikiisa sa para batiin sila ng maligayang Pasko at manalangin ng isang manigong at ligtas na bagong taon. Ikaw Jan, what have you to say for our mga Pilipinos natin from your end?
Well, ang masasabi ko is, wag tayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Ang solusyon is nasa atin naman eh. Meron tayong mga guidelines na binibigay para mabawasan yung chance na mahawa tayo or makahawa tayo. Sundin lang natin yun. May nakita nga akong joke na email sa Facebook. Ang sabi is, nakompleto ko nga ang Noche Buena, ang simbang gabi, pero pagdating ng Noche Buena, wala na akong panlasa. Sabi ganun. Patay tayo dyan.
Infected na pala siya.
So, kompleto niya yung Noche Buena, pero pagdating ng simbang gabi, pero pagdating ng Noche Buena, wala na siyang panlasa.
Problema na, the moral lesson of it is, pagkatapos nyo magsimba, bili muna kayo ng puto bumbong. Pag nawawala unti-unti yung panlasa, ayan, judgment call muna ngayon yan. What will I do? Diba?
But, yun yung testing nila.
Pero alam mo, alam na nangyayari sa atin ngayon dyan, ano man ang gagawin natin pag-iingat, whatever it is, it helps sa pag-iingat. But, nasa ano yun eh, nasa taas. Nasa taas.
Oh, yes.
Well, what we can do at the most is to be ready for anything. Di ba? Ano ang preparations natin dyan? We just have to be ready for that day. That day of atonement na kung saan makakaharap na natin kung sino man ang maghuhusga sa atin. How we spent life in this earthly world. Yun naman importante.
Yes, at saka hindi naman yan din ang sukatan is yung gaano kahaba ang buhay mo. It's more on the quality of your life. Kahit maiksi yung buhay mo, kung very fruitful and meaningful ang how you did it, then that's much better than living for 100 years but doing nothing.
Yeah, yun yung sinasabi ko. You know what, yung sinabi mong yan, naalaala ko lang yung mga naging panelists natin sa Lakbay ng Buhay. Kasi, again, it's a matter of how we will be able to touch other people's lives. Kasi, ang iba dyan, masyado nang engross sa kumita. In fact, in some instances, even families, ang nagkakaproblema, issues, parents to children, nagiging issue pag ang dating sa material things. Nawawala na yung values, nagde-deteriorate na talaga yung values natin ng humanity ngayon. And we see it. So, sabi ko nga, the real meaning of Christmas is makikita natin sa sarili nating puso. Sabi ko nga, that lonely stretch of road that goes to our heart is the one that will lead us to find the real meaning of Christmas. Kasi
Agree.
again, even in the ninth century when wala kang masyadong maliwanag na dahilan kung why is Christmas being celebrated. Again, going back to the sinabi nga ng ano is this Christmas is nag-start ba ito ng ano ba Saturn I just mentioned earlier. Let me go.
Narinig ko Saturn eh.
Hindi starter
Baka yung position ng Saturn sa...
Saturnalia.
Oh, yun.
Yung ito, it started with the Mithraic rites of the birth of the sun and at the close of the Saturnalia, as no certain knowledge of the day of Christ's birth existed. So wala masyadong maliwanag. So but in our hearts, we all believe that He is there. He came
Yeah.
here to redeem us from the frailty of the world. So ang tunay na dahilan, ang tunay ng katuturan ng Pasko ay nasa ating puso. Ikaw Jan, how do you really look at life? How do you really look at the celebration of Christmas?
Um, to me, Christmas is the joy of giving, not hindi more on receiving. Ang saya kasing ang saya yung makita mo na yung binigyan mo or tinulungan mo is happy sa ginawa mo. So I guess balik din dun sa mga ating mga guests before sa lakbay ng buhay, they are very happy helping other people, providing service to other people. So they're living a purposeful life, and that's very 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 ang tawag nito, fulfilling sa kanila more than monetary
Alam mo Jan, talking of giving. Alam mo, meron dyan. We know a lot. In fact, some are in politics. They give a lot. But how much do they give of what they were able to illegally or illicitly get from other sources, from illicit sources? It's a matter of subjective yan eh. Because ang sinasabi nga nila, I remember saying, I don't know if I can remember it right, give until it hurts. Because in giving where you are in pain, that you are able to find the real meaning of share. Parang ganon. And if I was able to, halimbawa, medyo nakadengoy ako, nakakurakot ako ng 100 million. Pinimigay ko ang 100 million. Is it for somebody,
parang
for somebody, Robin Hood, parang for somebody who was able to rob of 100 million and share 100 million of 10 million of it and wallow in luxury with the rest of the money he was able to rob or steal from whatever sources. Iba yun. Well, kaya nga sinasabi, give until it hurts because it is in hurting that you are really able to feel the essence of sharing, love, and caring.
Yes, that's right.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Pero, do we see it now? Sino nagbibigay? I mean, if that kind of money it's just rightful naman na nagpakahirap tayo, naghanap po, nagnegosyo, kumita tayo, share part of it with the poor. Not all of it. But, share most of it. Pero you do not deprive your family of a lifestyle that you've changed, that you now enjoy. But, kung ang pera mo naman ang source na pinamimigay, saan mo kinuha? Sa mga komisyon, sa mga SOP, sa mga kalakaran, it's another kind of thing, John. It's another kind of thing. Sabi nga nila, okay.
Sabi nilang na yung unexpected giving. Kasi bigay ka without expecting anything in return.
Yes.
Kasi yung maraming kilala ko na ang mentality, I think naging na sa society is yung what's in it for me palagi. Well, so I'll only do something if there's something that will come back to me. So ang iniisip ko is anong balik sa akin. So dapat hindi ganon yung
we have an ideal life, we have the real life. But unfortunately, the real life, we live in a quid pro quo life. I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch your back.
Yeah.
Well, ano yan, I would understand that, but it's the problem is I scratch your back, but ano ang I scratch your back ano illegally or whatever. If halimbawa, kinita ko naman yan,
By all means.
by all, I mean, iba eh. Alam mo na when I was still very much active sa customs. I used to be the president of the press corps. Ako tinira nga ako doon ng isang kasama ko rin sa media. Ganito raw, ganito. Sabi ko, I don't really care much what you think because I know whatever I do, iiba bibigyan depending on who's thinking, who's talking, they'll always give a different perspective with it. But everything will be between me and my conscience. So long as I believe I'm doing it right, I'm doing it Christianly, I'm doing it honestly, I don't care. So again, like the real meaning of Christmas, no matter mag-decorate ka, sige, you adorn your house with all the lights, etc. Even you put the biggest mga rebulto dyan of saints and so on, but what's your lifestyle? How do you deal with people? How do you deal with the poor? How do you deal with your household? That would make a difference. Because in other words, you are living a life of hypocrisy, bigotry. Di ba? Papalabas mo na. I remember nung
It's just a show.
Oh, it's just a show. Remember our first lakbay ng buhay, si Joel. Sabi mo, he's a we have to be straightforward, we have to be straight talkers somehow. But everything will be based on what we believe in ourselves, what we have in our hearts. Ganun yun eh. Kasi mas matindi, I find it even more sinful for a man to project himself to be religious, to be righteous, to be Christian, when in reality, when he deals with the poor, when he deals with his workers, iba ang treatment niya. Para kang aso. You would even be more sinful on that. Ikaw dyan. Ikaw.
I've seen those kinds. Na it's for show. So they project something to the public, and then in reality they're very different. Like the opposite. Exactly the opposite
Yeah.
of what they project.
Tingnan mo lang dito sa social media lang.
Hindi ka makapaniwala na.
Yes. Tingnan mo na lang dito.
Dito nakatulog ka pa ba ng maayos?
Yes. Tingnan mo na lang sa social media, yung mga social experiments.
Yeah.
Na kunyari may nagpo-post ng pulubi. Sino ang nagbibigay more sa pulubi kundi kapwa naghihirap? Look at the rich. It's like yung, remember yung sabi ni Dr. Rex Bakara?
Yeah,
they look at you, but as if you're not there. You're nobody. Invisible. Nakikita ka niya.
You're no value to them. So
you're no value to them. Wala ka, like what you're saying, wala silang pakinabang sa'yo.
Yes, correct. So wala. Invisible ka.
But again, remember that if you really want to live a Christian life, ibang tingin mo eh. Ang dihado, in fact, remember ano yun? Those who have less in life should have more in law. I mean, that's the legal aspect of it. Remember sinong mayor nagsabi niyan dyan? Remember?
Sino?
Those who have less in life should have more in law. Yung Manila yun. Yung dating police. I think. Yeah. The late. Wala na yata si the former mayor. Wala na. The late mayor did. Those who have less in life should have more in law. Well,
in theory.
In
practice is different.
Because dito naman sa atin, if you have less in life, and you go you are in trouble with the law, again you go back to the watching it for me.
Yeah, you're less in everything.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's sad na nawawala na yung ano. But
yeah,
sabi mo
actually, I will go into that topic. Yung last lakbay ng buhay natin.
Yes.
Si Edwin Bringas. Yung sinasabi natin na less in life or na dehado, whatever. Yung model ng business niya is to help those who are in trouble. Yung meron kang
In
mortgage
distress.
problem, may distress ka. So,
Yeah.
yun ang sinifeel niya yung gap na yun, yung mga dehado, tinutulungan niya.
Because the worst thing that can happen to a man, kung in-exploit niya, ang in-distress na nga, hindi na nga alam kung anong gagawin, and yet in-exploit mo yung kanyang weakness, yung vulnerability niya at the time where
Correct.
he is most in need.
That's
Diba?
heartless. That's really heartless.
It's inhuman. It's I still have to find the right word for guys like that.
But you
And
see it every day.
Yes, you see it in many officials. Unfortunately, many politicians. Not all,
And some of those, they don't really need anything. They're already well off. Hindi na
Yan,
kailangan gawin pa yun eh.
Yan ang sinasabi dyan ni Joel. Iba yung naramdaman mong maging mahirap at naramdaman mong kumakalaman siya na walang laman. Iba ang appreciation mo, you'll have a different value of life, value of money, value of work. Kasi yung mga hindi na naramdaman yon, wala, they couldn't care less. This is what I want. This is the kind of life that I want. No matter how I get it, for all I care. Diba? Especially if they're legally covered by certain provisions of law, that they are unreachable, they're beyond reach.
They can
Wala na.
Money shouts. Hindi man ito.
Yes.
Money shouts.
Sabi nga nila, I'm just natatawa lang ako every time I talk with some. If you deal with the bureaucracy of some government office, nasaan ang supporting pesos nito? I mean, well, literally, it's not. But it's there. It's there. But the good thing with this government right now is there are certain radical changes happening. Well, probably because we have a president na talagang tinutotohanan niya.
Correct.
If he says, I'll fire you, he fires you. But over the years, remember yung ating last talakayan about the shipping industry?
Yes.
So, yun ang sinasabi ko, for over 2 decades, we have been suffering about these charges being collected by shipping lines, and yet the government cannot do anything. But and yet, what can we do the most as consumers? Wala eh.
Wala, tayo
Our
hindi ng burden eh.
Our hands are tied. Yes.
If they have extra cost, they pass it on. Hindi sila magbabayad nun. So ipapasa nila lahat sa consumer.
Yes. So talagang ganyan. But anyway, again, to really find the real meaning of Christmas, go look deep into your hearts. Look deep into our hearts and find out. Remember, ilan na ba yung Pilipinong natulungan nyo, na-touch natin, that they really needed help the most?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the real meaning of Christmas.
So yun yung find joy in giving. Napakasimple.
Well, alam mo, kanina dyan, the reason why we were also delayed, Christmas really is the time for us to reach out. I have a daughter now. She's trying to call me right now in Viber. Well, alam mo kasi, yung mga Filipinos sa abroad, ikaw, you've had your time sa Australia, I've had my time in the US.
Yeah.
Pag we're out there, trabaho tayo ng trabaho eh. So,
correct.
If ang mga kababayan, mga kamag-anak naman datin dito, mga kapatid or whatever, they expect too much. But there are times, even your time, but there are really instances when, because of masyado tayong tali sa trabaho, sometimes we forget about getting connected. But pagdating ng Christmas, kita mo naman, especially now na walang bihirang biyahe. I can understand, I can only imagine ang volume ng calls dito overseas because at least at least an assurance man lang from a relative in the Philippines and in the US or elsewhere na kumusta na kayo diyan, ha? Ingat kayo. These are very comforting words for a Filipino abroad.
Correct, correct.
Ikaw in your case, kasi ikaw naman dyan, you had your family in Australia, you got married in Australia. But you still had that longing for your siblings, for your relative dyan, di
For
ba?
relatives, yes. We just Christmas Day call. I call them for a few minutes. And we try to celebrate naman doon, well, when we were still in Australia. Try to celebrate with friends. Kasi sila
Mm.
yung nagiging parang relatives and family namin doon eh.
Mm.
So, we organize Christmas parties, gatherings, para lang, nandun yung spirit.
Kasi it happens abroad. Ang nangyayari kasi doon, where you're abroad, kumukha nung nasa US ako, kayo mga Pilipino, we get together para to fill that emptiness na hinahanap mo rin sa pamilya, mga kamag-anak mo. I mean, at least it will fill the emptiness that we have in our hearts. Kaya,
Yes.
importante yun. Now, what we are trying to do right now with our mga messages is to let them also feel and let also realize that within that emptiness in their hearts, na ang tayo, mga nandito sa Pilipinas, are with them in
Yes.
hoping for the best Christmas and a safe New Year. Ganun, that's
Yes.
the most we can do. So, ako naman dyan, let this be a start of a campaign to let the our kababayan sa abroad feel that nandito tayo, nakikibati tayo. So, I urge all those who'd like to share their messages. Kanina lang medyo na medyo may problema tayo sa messages kanina. But over time we will be able to not exactly perfect it, but improve it a lot.
Improve it.
So
Yes.
so what we can do, John, we will just keep on playing these messages at least every day for 30 minutes or for an hour as
Yep.
para ma-feel ng ating mga kababayan na tayo dito sa Pilipinas ay nakikiisa sa uh, pagsalo-salo dito sa mahalagang karawan na itong Pasko na to. We still have 5 days to go. In fact, Christmas season is until January. So, yan lang ang inaano ko sa iyo sa mga nanonood sa mga sa ngayon na alam mo ang Filipinos siguro I would say I would be close to reality when I say about 60% or even more of the families in the Philippines have relatives abroad, if not in the US, Canada, Europe, Middle East.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere. So let them feel. Let them feel. If you have a relative now you have not been in touch, if you have a friend, you have friends, now is the time to let them feel.
Send us your greeting and we'll
Send us
play.
your greetings. How can you tell them, Jan, how they can send their messages to you para at least because we will air it at least we'll try to have it aired every day. If it will take an hour, 30 minutes to have all these messages para at least maramdaman ng ating mga kapatid, nasan man sila, na
We
ang
have
Pilipino, ang sambayanan ay nakikibati sa kanila sa mahalagang araw na to. Sige, Jan,
Yes.
you explain to
Yeah,
them how
we
they
have,
can.
we have our Facebook account that you can go to. So you can just search for Talakayan 3K that live, and or just search for Talakayan 3K and it will get you to we're the only Talakayan 3K in Facebook. So just search
So
for
what-
that and then send your message in
So
Talakayan.
how would you suggest ang video recorded na to message?
Video recording. Yeah.
So probably you have to introduce yourself, where you're from, and
Yeah.
give us a background of what you're doing. How long have you been there? We can give you as much as how many minutes can we give them at the most, Jan?
A minute is the average So that's plenty of message. So it's just a short message to of hope to
Yeah.
whoever you're sending the message to, or who you're intending to get the message to. Your family, friends, our frontliners, um, yeah, our kabayans, yeah, those.
So, yung plinay nating messages kanina dyan, if we replay it again, would it have improved already? Kasi nagda-download, ano pa yung upload
It
pa yung
would.
YouTube kanina.
Yes, it would. It would.
So,
So,
okay. So, siguro this afternoon or tonight, kasi kung tonight dito, at least mga araw na yan sa US or whatever, we can have it played again, even only the messages dyan.
yes, 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 you can do that.
So, because initially we had like about 8 or 10 messages kanina.
Correct.
Now, we can have as many as 100 or even 1,000 messages if depending on the messages. So, ako ang hinihingi lang namin ni John sa ating mga kababayan na lalo nandito sa Pilipinas, ipadama natin sa ating mga kapatid, kamag-anak, kaibigan na nasa malayong lugar ngayon sa kaarawan ng Pasko na hindi
Mm.
nila makakasama yung kanilang mga pamilya, na tayo ay bumabati sa kanila ng maligayang Pasko at ligtas na bagong taon. So, yun lang ang inano namin. John, that's going to be our calling for this Yuletide season. At least at night we can live stream the messages para maramdaman nila. John,
Yes.
can we do that?
Yes. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Oh, yeah. So, any message dyan for our this is the rollout of ano, we have that program dyan, and we envision this program. Ano ba title noon? I forgot eh. But anyway, it's a running program wherein ang purpose is maipadama natin sa mga Pilipino, sa mga kapatid, kamag-anak, kaibigan natin sa abroad na tayo ay nagkakaisa para batiin sila ng isang maligayang Pasko at ligtas na bagong taon.
Yun ang importante, yung ligtas na bagong taon. So, we have to be safe. Have a safe Christmas. Itong ating Facebook account pala.
Yun. So, pag dyan nila pinadala dyan, ang kanilang mga we can
Then
pick it up from
we will
there.
pick it up and play.
So
just
siguro,
send it.
what do you think would be the regular time that we're going to live stream the messages sa gabi dyan? Like,
When people are at home, so mga 8 o'clock siguro, ganun. What do you think? Chita, you froze. Hello? I think Chito just we lost the connection. My family is a dog lover, so you hear dogs barking in the background every time. And here's another one who's trying to send send his greeting to everyone and say Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New Year. Hmm? This my big baby, my big baby. Okay. Well, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. Signing out.